Get out of South Africa. That's the sentiment echoing through parts of the country. Not whispered, shouted, marched, written on placards. And whether government likes it or not, this anger did not come from nowhere. It came from borders people do not trust. It came from home affairs systems people don't believe. It came from expired visas, fake documents, corrupt officials, illegal work, overcrowded buildings, and a state that keeps arriving late. But let's be clear from the start. This is not a license for xenophobia, for mob justice, or to attack foreign nationals. But it's a demand for the law to mean something. If you are in South Africa illegally, you are breaking the law. If you overstay, work without permission, trade without the right papers, or buy fake documents, you are breaking the law. And if you refuse to leave, the state must remove you, firmly and legally. This is a story of a country fighting over foreigners. Who belongs, who does not, who has papers, who has no right to stay, and who is using South Africa's broken systems to stay anyway. This is not quiet frustration anymore. This is public pressure out in the open.
We've basically handed over our economy to foreign nationals. And, we don't understand what is so difficult to our government to enforce the laws.
When we South Africans open and run spaza shops, we are threatened by illegal immigrants in this country.
There it is. The anger is about jobs, illegal immigration, fake documents, the township economy, and it's about government failure. The anger comes from lived experience. Some of it may be exaggerated, some of it can become dangerous, but the core demand is not complicated. People who are here illegally must not be allowed to stay illegally. The demand is simple. Remove undocumented foreign nationals, enforce immigration law, and the state must act. And it's not only citizens saying it. Politicians have heard the anger too.
These foreigners must go.
Undocumented foreign nationals with no specialized skills in South Africa must go back to their respective countries.
But there is another warning too. The line between immigration enforcement and xenophobic scapegoating can disappear very quickly. That is why rights groups are pushing back.
We have problems in this country. And what we are saying is that government must stop scapegoating migrants. We are saying that the hate speech, the violence that is emitted on migrants must come to an end. And there must be an action on the part of those in authorities.
And that is the center of this story. Several things can be true at once. Illegal foreign nationals are breaking the law, no doubt about it. The state is failing to enforce the law. Employers, landlords, and syndicates are exploiting that gap. And xenophobia must still be rejected. A serious country does not choose between enforcement and humanity. It enforces the law without becoming lawless. That is also the president's line. He says illegal migration is a legitimate concern. But he also says South Africa cannot allow that concern to become hatred.
We should never allow the legitimate concerns of our communities about illegal migration to breed prejudice and hatred towards our fellow Africans.
So this is not just a border story. It is a law story. Who entered, who left, who overstayed, who bought a permit, who sold one, who is working illegally, who is employing them. If the state cannot answer those questions quickly and accurately, then the system is not in control. And if people know the system is not in control, well, they will test it. Government says enforcement is rising. Home Affairs says it carried out 109,344 deportations over the past 2 financial years. In 2024-25, there were 51,560 deportations. In 2025-26, there were 57,784 deportations. That is improvement, but it also proves the problem was never imaginary. Deportation is not cruelty. Deportation is what happens when someone has no legal right to remain in the country. The problem is not that South Africa is deporting people. The problem is that too many people were able to stay illegally for too long before the state acted. Now, we saw the same pressure at the borders. During the Easter period, the Border Management Authority said 4,763 travelers were intercepted. Of those, 3,170 were undocumented persons. 998 were undesirables. 595 were inadmissible. Some had fraudulent visas. Some had invalid travel documents. Now, that's not a rumor. That's border enforcement data. One of the biggest loopholes is simple: legal entry, expired visa, no exit, unlawful stay. South Africa works like this, and shamefully so. A person arrives on a visitor visa, the visa expires, they don't leave. That is not a paperwork issue. That is a breach of immigration law and a system that's failing to do what it's supposed to. And if they then work, trade, rent, operate a business, or buy documents to stay hidden, the problem is no longer just weak monitoring. It's deliberate unlawful conduct. But the deeper scandal is inside the state. The SIU found that Home Affairs officials allegedly exploited loopholes and manual visa processes. Documents were manipulated, visa processes were manipulated, work permit processes were manipulated. You get my drift. Syndicates, well, they were enabled. So yes, illegal foreign nationals break the law when they stay illegally or use fraudulent papers. But officials who sell the system are not bystanders. They are accomplices. Home Affairs says more than 2,000 study visas were fraudulently issued through syndicates. Those visas are now facing cancellation processes. The department also says its electronic travel authorization system declined more than 30,000 tourist visa applications that did not meet the requirements. So the technology is catching people. The old system has been exposed. Then there are Johannesburg's problem buildings. This is where South Africa's failures pile on top of each other. Illegal occupation, criminal landlords, undocumented residents, unsafe conditions, failed bylaw enforcement. Not every person in those buildings is foreign. Not every foreign national is illegal. But where the state disappears, the law gets replaced by whoever is strong enough to collect rent. A building becomes a border post. A criminal becomes a landlord. Government arrives when there is smoke, and South Africa needs to stop pretending immigration enforcement is extreme. Other countries enforce. The UK fines employers who hire illegal workers. The European Union orders people without legal status to leave. Even Nigeria, listen to that, even Nigeria has moved against visa overstayers. Countries have borders and laws. Countries decide who may enter, work, stay, and leave. The difference is that functioning states enforce the law through systems, not through crowds. So let's not blur the issue. If you are in South Africa illegally, you are breaking the law. If you work without the right status, you are breaking the law. If you use fake documents, you are breaking the law. If you pay a corrupt official for papers, you are breaking the law. And if you are a South African employer, landlord, or official helping that system continue, you are part of the same problem. Now, that is why enforcement must be firm. But it must be enforcement by the state, not punishment by a crowd. The solution is not soft. It's also not lawless. Count every entry, record every exit, track every overstay, cancel fraudulent visas, arrest corrupt officials, charge illegal employers, prosecute criminals, deport unlawful stayers, and protect every person in South Africa from mob justice, because lawlessness cannot be the cure for lawlessness. The message from the streets is blunt: leave. And if someone is here illegally, that message is not unreasonable. They have no legal right to stay. They should leave, or the state should remove them. But South Africa cannot allow immigration enforcement to become street justice. The state must do its job. Because this country does not only have a border problem, it has a law problem. Foreign nationals who break it, officials who sell it, employers who ignore it, landlords who profit from it, and a state that too often fails to enforce it. If people are here illegally, they must go. But they must be removed by the law, not chased by a crowd. Because South Africa must enforce the law without becoming lawless.
Hello lovers, good evening and welcome back again. If you are new here, please do it, like, comment and share, subscribe and turn on the bell notification. In that way, each time I upload a new video, be the first to be notified. By the clip of video that you watch, I know that you have understand everything that will be going on in South Africa. In fact, in Africa as a whole. You know, so this is why South Africa have been like, God, if illegal foreigners should just leave my country, or the undocumented foreigner without any skills, without anything to show or contribute in the country should just pack and go. You know, so many of them are just there doing all manner of bad things. Many of them just follow illegal ways. Now, they don't know how they follow enter South Africa and started committing abominable acting there in South Africa. These are one of the things that South Africa they don't want. That's why South Africa have been like, all of you should just leave my country. All of you should just get out. We are sick and tired of you people. So guys, by the clip of video that you watch, I just want you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that what South Africans are doing is the right thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Or do you think that South Africa is being too mean, too harsh to their Africa brothers? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Or do you think that this South Africa, that's all this their plan, is it going to work? Do you think that illegal foreigners will finally leave South Africa? Is it as in, is it going to be their dream come true? These have been my question. Is this going to be their dream come true in life? Not as in, let me just know your thoughts in the comment section and stay tuned in this channel. See you guys in my next video.